Hey guys, and welcome to D3Live. Today we're going to be taking a look at all we expect to see at E3 2010 this year. First we're going to start off with PSN Premium. Now PSN Premium looks pretty good, I've got to admit. PSN, of course, is the free Xbox Live alternative for the PlayStation 3. And of course you can do a lot of things such as, play games with friends, get trophies, all that kind of stuff. But what PSN Premium is going to be all about is it's actually going to allow you to go ahead and do a lot of things such as cross-game voice chat. You can do things like downloading full demos of any game, play them for like an hour. A lot of cool things. It's going to be pretty good. So we expect that this will go ahead and be announced at E3 2010 this year. Now, of course, it will be paid, as the premium name suggests. It will be paid, so we don't know how much it'll be. People set all kinds of stuff from $5 a year to, $80 a year. But generally, I think it will probably be roughly on par with Xbox Live. Probably a little bit cheaper, but, who knows. The features look really good, guys. I don't personally have a PlayStation 3. But, a lot of the really good things that Xbox Live has, the PlayStation is taking them, and they're bumping it up a notch. I mean, because of course with PSN it should stay exactly the same. So if you don't want to pay for it, you should be able to do everything that you can beforehand. So for example, you're still playing games with your friends, but if you go for PSN Premium, you'll just get more. So guys, definitely check this out. It's a really cool thing. I expect we'll see it at E3 this year. The next thing we'll be taking a look at today is the Xbox 360 Slim. Now guys, the Xbox 360 Slim is something that we've talked about a lot. To be honest, I think it's not exactly necessary, but as they advance and they fix stuff on the Xbox, for example, like all the red rings, then of course it makes sense that they're going to go ahead and slim it down and fix stuff. So we've had a couple of pictures about it before, and it basically was very similar to the Xbox, just a little bit slimmer, and that's what I expect that we will probably see. Now, I will say, guys, that I don't 100% expect that we will actually see the Xbox 360 Slim at this year E3. I do think we'll probably see it sometime this year, but for all we know, it might be a little bit longer. We might wait, a few extra months before we see it. If this was a major console release, I'm sure we will go ahead and see it, like 6 months in advance. But when it's just, a refresh and making it a little bit smaller, then I don't know if they'll make a full, huge deal about it, 6 months before it comes out and, hurt all the sales of the Xbox 360 in the meantime. Now, what I expect for the Xbox 360 Slim is that it's going to be very similar to what the normal Xbox 360 is. You will go ahead and, still have, hard drives, although for all we know they actually might be internal hard drives instead of the top ones, because I really don't see if it's going to be an Xbox 360 Slim that it will actually go ahead and snap on top. I just don't see them that if it's going to be slimmer, there's no way that the normal hard drives will fit. But I expect there'll probably be an internal hard drive. With any luck, we actually might have wireless built in, finally. There are also a couple of smaller things, such as, they might remove the memory card slots, which makes sense considering that the Xbox, with one of the later firmware updates, have been able to go ahead and you can plug in USB thumb drives, for example, to use just like memory cards, to bring your data and all your profiles and everything from one Xbox to another, or whatever. Now, as the name would suggest, obviously, an Xbox 360 Slim should be smaller. But a lot of people have looked at it. Ben Heck, for example, he's a really good Xbox modder. He's created Xbox laptops and all kinds of stuff. He's taken a look at some of the pictures we got a few months ago, and he basically said that the Xbox 360, the way the DVD drive is, and the way that it just needs the cooling and everything, no matter what they did, even with smaller parts and everything, it's not going to be like the size for Wii. I don't think anybody really expected that. I mean, you look at the PS3, the original one, compared to the PS3 Slim, it's smaller. But, it's very relative. I mean, it goes from really big to just big, So, but I expect, it might, get about an inch thinner, might not be quite so tall, might not be quite so long. That's kind of necessary in my opinion. I mean, I love my Xbox 360, but it's big. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's a big, big thing. So, if you can go ahead, if they could shrink it a little bit, maybe add internal hard drives, hopefully, something pretty decent, instead of these, 60 gigs and 120 gigs, maybe something a little bit more where we can go ahead and store lots of movies and games and that kind of stuff. If they could go ahead and do that, remove some of the features like memory cards that we don't need, and especially add features like Wi-Fi, because to be honest, the fact that they charge you $100 and $80 for a Wi-Fi adapter for the Xbox, really? I mean, I don't get that. Yeah, guys. So again, I don't 100% expect this to come out in E3. It might, but I do expect that we will see the Xbox 360 Slim or whatever they decide to call it by the end of the year. So the last E3 thing that I'm expecting this year will be the Nintendo 3DS. Now, of course, you know we've heard about it, and Nintendo just put out a high press statement, basically saying there's going to be a new 3DS. Just to kind of offhand, I believe there was some Japanese press who were about to leak the story anyway, so they jumped ahead of them. So even to this date, even though Nintendo's officially announced that at E3 they will show the 3DS, we don't know that much about it. But I will go ahead and go through what we do know. So real quickly, we do know though that it should have 2 screens. Not 100% sure. They did say that it will be compatible with normal DS games. And seeing as normal DS games have 2 screens, I will bet that the 3DS does as well, especially because it's worked pretty well for Nintendo in the past. But also because of the fact that, with the 2 screens you have the touch screen, and then the top is obviously not a touch screen. But of course, it's not a definite that it would have 2 screens. I see, a possibility like you see on my DSi right here. If you imagine that they put these 2 screens together, and just made the top screen and the bottom screen, and you just touch on the bottom screen. If it was just one big touch screen, like very similar to like what an iPod or iPhone would be, then I could definitely see that could work as well. Now, what we've heard, and what I absolutely have to believe, seeing as it's been so many years since the original DS came out, was that the 3DS is going to have some seriously improved graphics, and obviously it's going to have 3D. So what we've heard is that it should have the NVIDIA Tegra 2 chip. Now this is a really powerful chip, guys. It's very powerful. It will go ahead and be able to render really pretty decent 3D graphics. Pretty good step up from the DS and even the PSP of today. Now, the one thing that everybody's talked about is that it's going to be 3D. Everybody this year has been talking about 3D TVs. Well, it's going to be a 3D handheld. Well, this is going to be kind of hard to understand exactly how the 3D is going to work. Now, there's been some sharp made touch screens that will allow you to go ahead and, without any 3D glasses at all, be able to look and see the 3D. Now that's going to be kind of cool because it's going to give you a very similar experience of 3D that you would see in, for example, a movie theater, with the 3D glasses on. But you don't have to wear any glasses because it's all done on the screen. Now, if they were to do this, it'll be a really cool thing, I think. Between having a possible accelerometer and having 3D, I can imagine some really cool 3D environments where you actually see the entire world move as you move the the DS. It'd be a really cool deal. Now, of course, this one is not speculating or anything. Nintendo has come out and said that they will announce it at E3 this year. Now, when exactly it will come out, that's a little unclear. Originally, they said that it will be out before, I believe, April of next year. But a lot of people have said, a bunch of people come forward, and game developers, etc., it said that it should be out by October of this year. That makes sense. If it's going to be out by the holiday season, which is, of course, where they sell tons and tons of them, then I would expect that October sounds like a pretty reasonable thing. So, guys, I definitely would expect to see the DSi, or rather, I'm sorry, the 3DS at the E3 this year. Now, one thing we don't know about the 3DS yet, and I would just touch on this really quickly, is that we don't know the final name. Now, they said that the 3DS, they've said it more than on one occasion, that the 3DS is not going to be the final DS, the final name of it. Now, they've said that it might be something else, and they were going to go ahead and go forward with what the name is. But we've seen some things in Japan where they've actually copyrighted some things such as 3DS Wear, a couple of other things using the 3DS name. It's a decent name. I think it could work. Personally, I'm a big fan of the original Game Boys. I wish they'd call it the, Nintendo Game Boy 3D or something. But I understand that, they might want to go ahead and, just use the Nintendo 3DS or something very similar. So we just have to see about that. Okay, guys, so as always, with the second segment of D3 Live, I will be answering live Skype calls. This is all done on Blog TV, so I've got a bunch of people on here who's going to be calling me on Skype. So, yeah, let's go ahead and answer the first question. Hello, Max, are you there?
I just want to say I love your show.
Hey, thanks, man. You have any questions or anything like that? Oh, I guess I lost you already. Okay, let's go ahead and answer the second question. Sim B, hi, are you there? I'm sorry, I can't. You gotta turn up your volume just a little bit. I can't hear you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to go to the next call. We're having a little bit of difficulties in Skype here. Okay. Hello, Chad, are you there?
Hi.
Hi, what's your question?
I just wanted to know, what is your favorite video game of all time?
Oh, okay, that's a great question. Well, my favorite video game of all time would probably have to be Pokemon Gold version. That was like one of my very first video games I ever got, and I played it literally for like 2 years. It was a lot of fun. I mean, I still play it occasionally. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. Any other questions?
I love the Pokemon games too.
Oh yeah, there's no beating them. You have any more questions, or?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, hey, thanks for calling in, man. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the next one. Ray, hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
What's going on?
I just want, who's your most subscribed YouTuber?
You mean my favorite YouTuber?
Yeah, in other words.
I'd have to say Mystery Guitar Man right now. He has such crazy great videos. He just has such great videos. I mean, you can tell he puts so much time and effort into them, and they're just really interesting to watch. You know?
Yeah, I like the Kazoo's video.
Oh yeah, and almost all of them. I mean, I've never watched one of his videos and go, "Oh man, I wish I wouldn't have watched that. That was dumb." You know?
Yeah.
Well, how about you? What's your favorite? Who's your favorite YouTuber?
I would probably go with Mystery Guitar Man too.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, just his videos are great. Now, I mean, if you're talking about tech and stuff, I mean, there's a lot of people I like. I mean, I like John for Lakers, Soldier Knows Best. I like
Phone Dog, that's pretty good.
I like Tech7. He's great. Techman TV. I mean, there's so many people I like to watch on YouTube who are into tech and
stuff. Yeah, go on
stuff.
forever, pretty much.
Oh yeah, I definitely could. Yeah. Okay, well, hey, thanks, man, for the call.
Alright, no problem.
Okay, and let's go ahead and go to another. Let's see here, Sim, are you there? Hello, are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, what's your question, man?
Well, my question is, I know you like Nintendo, so what's your favorite Nintendo ever?
Oh, okay, that's a great question. Well, I mean, there's a lot of really good Nintendos. I mean, I started out with my very first was a Game Boy Color, and you know, the Game Boy Color was great. You know, it's just, you know, I played forever. I really love the Game Boy Advance SP too. That probably is my favorite of all time. I mean, I just played it. I mean, I literally played it for like 5 years. I mean, I didn't get a DS when it came out. I just kept playing that SP. But, you know, the GameCube was really good too. I like the GameCube a lot, you know? Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Yeah, go ahead.
So what?
I'm sorry, you're cutting out a little bit. You still there?
What's your?
Oh, I think I lost you. Sorry. Oh, let's go ahead and go to the next person. We've got a couple more here. Okay. Hello, are you there? And second guy, we got a little bit of technical difficulties here. Hello? Oh, I think it got cut off. Okay, guys, well, that will be all the calls we got today. Got a few issues here. Okay, guys, so that's it for this first very eventful episode of D3 Live. Guys, if you want to be in on the show next week, all I have to do, I'm planning on doing these every Saturday, maybe Sunday, but usually Saturday, and I'm going to go ahead and be on live on Blog TV, so you guys can come check me out. And you know, you can watch it live on Blog TV, and you can go ahead and ask me Skype questions. I'm going to be first talking about, as you saw, I talked about some stuff about E3. So I'll pick some kind of topic for the first part of the video, and then for the second part of the video, I'll talk about Skype calls, answer questions, just talk about different stuff, and just kind of have fun and hopefully not fail like this time. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you start and continue to support D3 Live.